Views onto sheets. So far, we've been making quite a few views. We've talked about duplicating views. We've been making new elevation views. What is the purpose of all these views? Well, it's twofold. Number one, many of your views are never going to be seen by your client. They're purely working views. So this view right here, I can throw some dimensions on that I want. I can put it the scale I want. I don't have to clean up certain things like break the section line. This is just purely for my working, and I can see the model, everything works fine. But when it comes to presenting this to the client, maybe I want a more simplified floor plan. And we had made this one earlier by duplicating the view. So this one may end up onto a sheet. How do you make sheets? Well, in the project browser, go down to the Sheets heading, click on it, do a right click and say New Sheet. You can load in title blocks. Now let's make sure we go to the Imperial Library, title blocks, and let's bring in an 8.5 by 11 vertical. They're calling that A size. Okay, so that should show up under your available title blocks to select. Now, let's go in here and just zoom in. I've already typed this stuff in, so what I want you to do is just click on the title block and type in the following. This is going to be A101. We'll just make J Smith as the example client or whatever you want it to be, and addition is fine. The name of the first sheet is going to be this, A101 Interior Rendering. And you can use capitals or no capitals, depending on whatever your convention is or whatever you prefer. Now we can keep making sheets according to the plan that I've laid out here. Let me just flip back over. So we want to make a 1, 2, 3, and 4 floor plan, interior elevations, and then a section and detail. So let's right click, go to New Sheet, just use the same title block, 8.5 by 11. And this one here, we can double click and call this Floor Plan. And then we can right click and say New Sheet again, same title block, double click in the name of the sheet. We'll call this one Interior Elevations. And let's make our final one, same title block, section, and detail. Now you may have a couple questions arise, and one of those would be, well, can I make my own title block? Of course you can. And if you have it done in AutoCAD, you can use that as a base. You can make them up very quickly using AutoCAD as a base file. That's something that we would need to address in another video. We don't really have time right now, but that is definitely something that you can do. The other thing you might ask are things like the size of text. That's all included in the style of title block or the title block family. So those are things that you would have to change in that title block family. So how do you get views onto the sheets? Well, let's start with the floor plan. We're just going to double click on A102 floor plan. And let's go up to this floor plan that we wanted to use. If we just drag and drop that onto our sheet, what happens? Well, a couple things. It comes on, but you'll notice the scale is kind of too small. It's wrong scale. We need to adjust that. You'll notice that we see these green reference planes. They're kind of getting in the way. It looks like the extents are too big as well. So we're going to need to look at how to adjust that. So we will look at that later. Let's now bring in some interior elevations. And then we will be adjusting accordingly. So let's look for our interior elevations. So we could start out with something like the north wall, drag and drop, the east wall. And you'll notice here that there will be little guiding lines that come about, and that helps you to line up your models. Let's go with the south. Now you'll notice that there'll be a little guiding line that shows how that lines up. Okay, and then we've got the west as well. Now we've run out of room. So let's try clicking on these. For now, let's put north and south. We'll line those up. north and south. We'll line those up. And then east and west. We'll line those up. We need to discuss a little bit how to refine the extents of the views, and we will be doing that shortly. But for now, we're setting up something just to get an idea of what scales are we going to need. Are we going to need more sheets? It's giving us an idea of how our set is going to come together. And it's good that we're doing this early on in the process as well.